Gemini, welcome to your June 2023 mid-month reading here. We're just going to go ahead and jump straight in. As always, if you're newer to the channel, be sure to check out your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus sign. You'll be able to find additional messages in those reads, especially with the spread that I'm doing, and you'll see why. So here we go, Gemini. Let's go ahead and jump in. Actually, let me do one more shuffle. I just feel intuitively, let me do one more shuffle. So if you're new to the channel, the first row I'm going to pull is going to be in regards to your career, your ambition, and your goals. The second row that I pull will be in regards to your relationships, what's going on there. And then the last row will be any additional messages from Spirit, the Divine, God. Highly motivated. Don't burn yourself out. I feel like it's wanting you to concentrate your energy here, Gemini. But the Knight of Wands, Four of Wands, and Nine of Wands being here in regards to your ambition and your goals. I feel like you're highly ambitious at this time. I feel like you're actually striving forward. I like it. It's interesting. I feel like you're also finding like that fire again, to achieve, like to go after your desires here. I like it. Nine of Wands is in that future spot. So I think this is just telling you just to be aware of like your energy. I feel like it's wanting you to move, like straight ahead, full force ahead. But also like find a way to manage your energy too, right? 'Cause you may, you may burn out, trying to take on the world. So, but hey, you do you. All right. Second row is going to be in regards to your relationships here. Let's take a look. Seven of Pentacles, Four of Cups, and you have the Ten of Pentacles here. I feel like you could be bored. I feel like it's like you could be bored. I think you're wanting more progressions in your relationships. I feel like that's in all areas, if I'm being honest with you. Especially I get kind of like around family and like friendship wise. Well, I had to clarify this. We'll see what comes out like as far as like romantic energy. Because I just feel like right now it's like you're kind of bored. You're kind of just waiting to see like what happens here. I feel like you're also like realizing too, like on the love front for my single Geminis, I think you're looking at like what's really worth your time and your energy to invest into. Because if it doesn't really have substance or it doesn't really have quality to it, then what's the point? Because I feel like ultimately what you're manifesting is this Ten of Pentacles, which is everything that you could desire in your life when it comes to relationships. Things that are built, on good grounds with a good foundation and have the stability to be able to last here. So, let's see. I mean, I kind of get in your relationships, there's not that much movement going on if I'm being 100% real with you. Not really. Seven of Pentacles is also my card of like maintaining too. So it's like working on your relationships that you already have at this time. All right, let's take a look at this last row real quick. We'll pull some Oracle cards and we'll also clarify this spread. Queen of Wands, the Hermit, Three of Wands. I feel like you're a very powerful light in the dark for other people, and you may not even notice this. I kind of feel like you have a way with words, or you kind of just have a certain type of energy that people gravitate toward, and I feel like that's something to really be embraced here. I feel like it's something really to be embraced. You have this Juno partnership, so maybe there is some romantic energy going on. If there is, Juno's like when you invest and go all into a situation, right? The great love story. So some of you, there could be like a love story already happening. Maybe this is just talking about like other areas of your relationships here. And this, and also too, is like, it's like you're reflecting Four of Cups, possibly too, on like what you want out of partnerships here, right? Because Juno is sort of like that Ten of Pentacles energy when we talk about relationships, right? The asteroid Juno, because it's the great love story. It's also where we can kind of fall into our own delusion of things too, but I'm not really getting that coming through here. But let's see. Let's keep pulling some cards here, Gemini. You have this no longer holds power over you. Dissolve attachments of the past with love. Yeah, I mean, I kind of get here that this could be in regards to like certain relationships. There's kind of like some trust issues, maybe. And some of you kind of are closing off your hearts to certain relationships, whether that's friendships. It's going to be different for all of you, relationships, because the Four of Cups is the closed off heart. It's where we don't really allow anything to really enter into our personal realm or personal energies, right? And sometimes it's where we don't even see the opportunities that are around us because our heart chakra or our hearts just aren't open to it. We don't want to be vulnerable, right? We're not trusting. But I think everything really is working out here for your highest good. I feel like anything that has, once that may have happened in the past, I kind of feel it's like you may be simmering on that a little bit, or it may come up and you may simmer on it. But I get that it really doesn't have any weight anymore, I think it's more so maybe like the story that you're telling yourself about the situation, and maybe it's just telling yourself like maybe there's a new story that you need to write. There's a new story that you need to tell yourself. Right, because you got great things in your relationships coming with this Ten of Pentacles, right? Ten of Pentacles is the family, friends, love. So I feel like you're not content with some things when it comes to relationships. Your career is fine. Like the energy around your career right now there's nothing really that needs to be expounded upon. Obviously, when I clarify, we'll look and see more so what's happening. But it's more so this right here. It's like you may be feeling as unfulfilled in certain aspects of your relationships, and I want to say this too: if for ones that are in relationships or you're dealing with a person, complacency is something that I feel you could be feeling, or that could be starting to happen, right? And so it's like really not allowing yourself to fall into like complacent energies in regards to relationships, because that's the number one killer of relationships. It's complacency. Right? We get into relationships. We do the same routine. Right? Gets boring. You don't do the things that you once did when you first started dating. The romance dies. So I feel like there's like a need to keep the romance alive. And for others of you, it's like don't allow yourself to fall into like an energy of complacency, like just in your life in general when it comes to relationships. I feel like it's wanting you to cherish what it is that you have and work with what it is that you have and still have an open heart. Because the Seven of Pentacles is like we can be grateful for the progress we've made and for the things that we have. There's always something to be grateful for. You have this courage card. I definitely feel like you have a lot of courage and ambition when it comes to your relationships. In your career. But however, with the relationships, I think it's especially because this is a Leo card. You can see the Leo symbol on it. And Leo is all about the heart, rules the heart, and the ability to express oneself, to not feel insecure, to, have fun with others, be open to others. Leo's also romance and stuff, so it's about being open. You have this moon card that says influence. The only moon energies that I'm seeing here is the Four of Cups and the Nine of Wands here. Nine of Wands, when it comes to the moon influence, it's more so your beliefs are going to waver in structure. The ambition is going to waver. The positivity and the optimism is going to waver. That's just a natural part of things. It always comes and goes. But as long as you keep moving forward, I feel like you'll be fine. The Four of Cups, though, is the other moon energy here. The Four of Cups is moon in Cancer. So there's something about, some personal things. I feel, Cancer can rule the family or just your very close, intimate relationships here. Like, I feel like, I want to clarify. We'll get more on it, but I think it's wanting you to just, let's see. Let's clarify that. Well, I'll remember to talk about this, what this is. Chariot, my card of triumph, ambition, soul extended in action, heading forward. Star card, Four of Wands, you got a strong vision for yourself. The attainment of the success and the stepping stones from one step to the other has been something that has been quite fulfilling for you. Got big dreams, huh, Gemini? Ace of Pentacles. Could be a newer opportunity coming your way. It's whether or not you'll be able to take it on or not. Eight of Cups here. You may actually stumble across something quite newer, whether it comes in the form of like a newer idea that you want to do to create or make something better, or it manifests as an opportunity or something that kind of you stumble upon. I more so feel this is something that's just more so it's like you having to be more open and receptive to it. Something ever come across your way, or have you ever thought about something, but it's like, kind of like the story in your mind is like, well, I've always done it this way. I've always done this way, or this is what I'm used to. But I know like the thing that I'm thinking about has more potential, has more value. And so it's like one of those limiting beliefs I feel like you're just going to have to like confront. I feel like if you can do that, then I feel like your world, like your evolution, like your worldview will become more broader about like what you're capable of. Two of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, some of you may actually already be in a relationship. Don't fall into complacency. I don't know. If somebody's being complacent, I feel like it's time to speak up and be like, hey, how come we don't do the things that we used to do? Or change up the routine. Whatever the case might be. But also the Seven of Pentacles and the Two of Cups is about appreciating the relationships that you have right now at this time. King of Swords and the Moon card. Allowing yourself to feel, become intimate, embrace. King of Swords, the King of Swords isn't a bad card, but it's air versus water, and he's the master of the air, right? He's the master of the air element, the sword element, the intellect. He's always thinking intellectually about things. Some of you guys are trying to rationalize your feelings about certain things, and sometimes you just need to let things be, right? Which is why that moon is here. I think some of you are like, you're afraid to feel, or maybe even get too close in relationships for good reason, right? We've all been burned. Some of you may be feeling ignored too, possibly in some of your relationships. Some of y'all kind of moody. Gemini, why are you moody? What's going on? Clarify this. 10 of Cups. Or 10 of Pentacles. Four Cups. That's crazy. This could even be around family and stuff. Maybe you're just disappointed about certain things, or maybe you're just like, this is so odd. 6 of Swords. I think it's just a little bit of emotion that you're processing and working through and still trying to articulate and understand. But sometimes it's like, you can't always like, you can articulate feelings, right? Like you can't put logic to feeling. I don't know why people say you can't. You can. That's why how do you think you articulate how you feel? The thing is, it's like when you don't allow yourself to be able to feel because you're over articulating it, or you're overthinking it, or you're thinking you're using too much of your rational mind, right? I hope that made sense. I already know there's probably gonna be a Karen in the comments. Like, All right, let's see. 10 of Cups and the Queen of Wands is here from the messages. I'm about to just start saying additional messages here. Queen of Wands, 10 of Cups. Your guide spirit wants you to focus on the great positive things you have in your life, right? Life is a spectrum of everything, and there's always positive no matter what that you can look at, embrace, and have gratitude toward it, and it'll shift your vibration dramatically. I'm telling you, always. If you're not happy, do something for somebody else. Genuinely. There's always joy in that. I think sometimes we get stuck in our own self-misery, our own self-loathing, and we don't even do anything. We just sit there in our own self-loathing, which do something for somebody else, something nice for somebody else, genuinely from the heart. And there's joy in that. There's pleasure in that. You kind of get outside of your own realm, get outside of yourself, And I think by us really getting outside of our own selves and embracing and being a part of other things, and helping the world, making the world a better place and all that stuff, like there's great joy in that. High Priestess and the Hermit here. Some of you actually have very strong intuition. That's funny. The Moon card came out with the Three of Wands. You can really rely upon your own wisdom and your own intuition. It's not going to lead you astray like you may think it will, or sometimes that you may question, is it? It's like there's always a lesson, and it's like your soul knows. Your intuition knows. Be open and receptive. Understand that this is a long journey that you're on, and you're not going to be able to plan for everything and understand the whole picture of things, right? Three of Wands and the Moon card. There's a reason why with the lunar cycles, as we start a new moon, it's a new seed that's being planted. Right? You hear that all the time. And then it's the build up to the full moon. But that process of the build up to the full moon is unconscious activity that is happening in the background, that is happening in your life. All these things are happening so you can become aware of it. Because once you have the full moon, then you're consciously aware of what wasn't seen before, or what all that unconscious activity was. So it's really about timing, patience, understanding, allowing, adapting, improvising. Always know that everything is always working out for your highest good. And then when you have a full moon, you're consciously aware of the unconscious activity to the build up to the full moon. Then you're able to see, okay, what do I need to release? What can I actually embrace? How can I, now I understand. And then as you start to wane off that full moon, now you understand, and now you can actually pivot and understand more clearly of what you need to do. Which is why they call it releasing on the full moon. Because the buildup of the energy, the peak of the energy of the full moon. And as it's starting to wane off, it's really where if you are open and receptive to the buildup of the full moon, of bringing consciousness to the unconscious, then really after the full moon, the coming off of it, the waning aspect, you can actually enjoy and be able to improvise and adapt more easily when you're waning off the full moon. So I highly suggest getting the book, A Handbook for the Humanistic Astrologer. I think Michael R. Meyer, I think that is some of the greatest work I've seen when it comes to the relational aspects of astrology, right? Like if you're like a big Carl Jung fan or a psychology person, like that's the type of astrology that you tap into to evolve. Astrology should never be looked at as some type of fear thing, right? Everybody's always fearing like the fucking full moon, or fuck, oh, this is in retrograde. Like everybody goes into a fucking panic and fear. But it's like once you really understand astrology, you're not like some bullshit fucking surface level wannabe astrologer, right? Just parroting what everybody else has said. But like once you really start to understand astrology, how to use it, understanding the holism, then it's like you understand what's going on, how everything is always working out for your highest good, no matter what. And there's never nothing to fear. So that's what I got for you. I appreciate y'all, Gemini. Y'all got me fired up. I think I tapped into some of that energy you got. Mercury's in your sign, your planet. So use it wisely. All right, I'll catch y'all later. If you want to book a personal reading with me, that link's down below in the description. I would love to do a personal reading. If you want one, you can book it on my website. They've been a lot of fun. People have really enjoyed them. And yeah, if you want me to answer a specific question you have, you can book it down below. Everything is down below, right? All the information, everything. And I use a different spread, of course, tailored to you. And otherwise than that, if this video resonated with you, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, and I'll talk to y'all later.